Do you know why people are afraid when you're happy? It's not just because when you're happy you change the world. They're afraid to be happy. People are afraid to be happy. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, really? You're afraid of mochi? Like you're afraid of my baby? Or you're afraid of beauty? Yeah, people are afraid of cuteness, of vulnerability, of surrendering to beauty, because when you're happy, you are not in control of your joy. And the key words here are not in control. Joy is not controllable. Like you can't help but smile when you see mochi, or you can't help but melt as soon as someone puts that child in your arms. And you can't help but breathe when you face the ocean. When you're happy, you're not in control. Happiness is. And people are afraid of not being in control. People are afraid of your happiness because then they can't control you. Write this in your journal. My happiness is not controllable. It's limitless. I mean, didn't it freak your parents out when you were a little kid, hugging all the strangers, telling them that you love them? That's scary. When you were in your divine nature, your happiness freaked out a whole lot of people. And this freaks people out. When people can't control you, they get scared. And people are not dumb. They act dumb, but they're not dumb. Come on, they know. They know that they can't control you now. How are they going to control you when you're happy? Have you ever tried to control a little puppy dog or tried to herd cats or little kids when they're excited? Have you ever tried to control the ocean? You cannot control happiness. And people know that they can't control you if you're happy, if you're Maikai. So write that in your ocean. People know that they can't control me if I'm happy. Think of the age you were when you loved yourself the most. And then write down in your journal what age you were and describe yourself at that age. Now pick 3 adjectives that described you at that age and write that in your journal. And just think of this: who was scared of you the moment you were those 3 things. Like the moment Jesus was 12 and he realized that he could out-debate the rabbis, and he was happy that he was super smart, and the entire establishment shuddered in fear because a child was born whose happiness would destroy the entire infrastructure of power. The moment you become those 3 adjectives, who in the world is shuddering in fear because you're just on the cusp of changing that world? Your happiness is the biggest threat to the world ever. The thing that makes you the happiest is going to change the world, and don't think the world doesn't know that. They can feel your happiness. They can feel it, and they know its power.